In the year 2145, the sun rose over the endless desert, turning the sand into waves of gold. Mira, a young archaeologist, stood at the edge of a small excavation site. She brushed the sweat from her forehead and looked down at the strange stone doorway her team had just uncovered. It was unlike any tomb she had seen before. The markings on the stone were not the usual hieroglyphs. They glowed faintly, almost as if they were alive. Mira felt a shiver of excitement. "This could be the greatest discovery of our time," she said quietly to herself. Her assistant Rami, a smart and careful young man, bent down to examine the doorway. "Mira, these symbols are not just decoration. They seem to be some kind of code," he said, pointing to a series of tiny scratches around the main design. The team had worked for months in the desert, following rumors of a hidden tomb that had been lost for centuries. Many had tried to find it before, but the shifting sands had swallowed it from memory. Now, after long days of careful digging, they had found the entrance. Mira felt a mix of pride and nervousness. She knew that stepping inside might change their lives forever. After a short meeting, the team decided to enter the tomb. Mira held her small torch, its light cutting through the dark. The air inside was cool and still. Dust hung in the air, making tiny golden particles dance in the torchlight. The walls were covered with strange, shimmering symbols. They seemed to move slightly when Mira's eyes looked away. As they moved deeper, they found a small chamber. At the center stood a stone pedestal. On it rested a golden scarab amulet. It was beautiful and delicate. Its tiny wings were spread as if ready to fly, and it glowed faintly in the torchlight. Mira felt her heart beat faster. She had studied ancient Egyptian artifacts for years, but she had never seen anything like this. "Should we take it?" one of the team members asked. Mira hesitated. Something about the scarab felt different. It was not just gold. It seemed alive, almost as if it was watching them. She reached out slowly and touched the amulet. The moment her fingers brushed it, a small pulse of warmth ran through her hand. The symbols on the walls glowed brighter for a few seconds. Mira stepped back, surprised. "Rami, did you see that?" she asked. "I did. It is almost as if the tomb wants us to touch it," Rami said, his eyes wide with wonder. Mira carefully lifted the scarab and put it in a protective case. She noticed that the amulet's glow continued faintly even inside the case. The team explored further and found smaller artifacts, golden cups, jewelry, and clay tablets covered with symbols. But the amulet seemed to be the center of the tomb's energy. As the day ended, the team set up a temporary camp inside the tomb. Mira placed the amulet on a special stand she had brought for protection. She could not take her eyes off it. The glow seemed to pulse slowly, like a heartbeat. Mira felt a strange connection to it, as if it were trying to tell her something. That night, Mira could not sleep. She lay on her cot and stared at the ceiling of the tomb. She thought about the scarab and the glowing symbols. She wondered who had built this tomb and why it was hidden for so long. The desert outside was quiet, but inside, Mira could feel a strange energy, like the tomb was alive. Suddenly, she had a dream. In it, a giant scarab hovered above the desert, its wings shining like the sun. Its eyes glowed like tiny stars. The scarab seemed to look at her and nod. Mira woke with a start, her heart pounding. She looked at the amulet and noticed that its glow had grown slightly brighter. She whispered to herself, "This is only the beginning." Mira knew that the tomb held more secrets. She did not yet understand them, but she felt certain that the golden scarab was the key. Whatever lay ahead, she was ready to face it. The discovery was not just about treasure or history. It was about something far greater, something that had waited for centuries to be found. Mira took a deep breath and looked around the tomb. She knew that tomorrow would bring new challenges and perhaps new mysteries. For now, she let herself feel the excitement of discovery. The tomb had chosen to reveal itself, and Mira had the honor of stepping inside. The desert outside might seem calm, but the secret of the Pharaoh's golden scarab was awake, and it was waiting for her. The next morning, the desert sun painted the tomb entrance in golden light. Mira moved carefully through the chambers, carrying the scarab amulet in her hands. The glow of the amulet had not faded. It seemed stronger than yesterday, and Mira felt a strange warmth spreading through her fingers. Rami noticed the change first. "Mira, look at this," he said, pointing to the wall. The symbols were moving. Slowly, they rearranged themselves, forming a new pattern that Mira had never seen. The lines glowed brighter, and a faint hum filled the air. It was not loud, but it seemed to vibrate through her body. Mira placed the amulet on the pedestal again. As soon as she did, a small holographic map appeared above it. Golden lines traced paths across the desert, showing mountains, rivers, and hidden chambers in the tomb. Mira's eyes widened. "This is incredible. It is showing us more of the tomb," she said. The map shifted and a small figure appeared above it. It was an insect-like creature, glowing faintly, with wings like a scarab and eyes like tiny stars. Mira felt a wave of surprise and awe. Then a soft voice filled her mind. "Do not be afraid. I am Ket, guardian of knowledge and protector of the Pharaoh," the voice said. Mira froze. She looked around. The room was empty except for her team. Rami's mouth hung open, but he did not speak. I can hear you," Mira said slowly. Her heart raced. "You are real?" "Yes, I have waited many centuries for one who is worthy," Ket replied. "You have awakened me. I am not here to harm you. I am here to guide and teach." Mira felt a mixture of fear and excitement. She looked at the glowing scarab in her hands. It pulsed like a heartbeat. "Guide and teach? About what?" she asked. "The knowledge of the past, the wisdom of the pharaohs. Humanity has forgotten the bond it once had with the natural world," Ket said. The holographic scarab hovered above the pedestal, moving as if it were alive. "Long ago, humans and beings like me worked together. We shared understanding, respect, and unity. The pharaohs preserved this bond in secret." Mira took a deep breath. "So the tomb, the amulet, it is more than just treasure?" "Yes, it is a key. It is a way to restore what was lost. But first you must prove your courage and wisdom. The path ahead is not easy," Ket said. The walls of the chamber shifted. Hidden doors appeared, leading to passages Mira had not seen before. Holographic symbols floated in the air, showing challenges that would test her knowledge and logic. Rami stepped closer. "This is incredible. It is like the tomb is alive. It chooses who may enter." Mira nodded. "We have to be careful, but we need to explore. This is a chance to learn something no one has known for thousands of years." As they moved down the first passage, the symbols on the walls seemed to guide them. Each step was met with small puzzles. One required arranging light patterns to match a star map. Another involved combining simple mechanical devices to unlock a hidden door. With each success, the amulet glowed brighter and Ket's presence grew stronger. At the end of the passage, they reached a small chamber. In the center was a pedestal with a second scarab, smaller but no less glowing. Ket spoke again. "This is wisdom. To receive it, you must understand balance. Strength alone is not enough. Fear must be set aside. Only then can knowledge flow." Mira reached out and touched the smaller scarab. Instantly, a wave of understanding filled her mind. She saw images of ancient cities, thriving forests, and humans working together with insect-like beings. She felt their harmony and peace. It was like learning a language she had always known but had forgotten. Rami watched her with amazement. "Mira, you are seeing it," he whispered. "Yes," Mira said, her eyes shining. "Ket is showing me how the past worked, how humans and other beings lived in balance." The chamber seemed to hum with energy. Ket's voice filled the space again. "You have taken the first step. There are more lessons to learn. Patience, cooperation, and courage will guide you through the tomb's secrets. Those who seek power or greed will fail. Only those who wish to learn and protect will succeed." Mira felt a deep sense of responsibility. She knew this was no ordinary discovery. The tomb and the scarab were alive in ways she had never imagined. The desert outside might seem silent and still, but inside, ancient wisdom pulsed like a heartbeat. That night, Mira placed the amulet carefully on her stand. She could feel Ket's presence even as she slept. In her dreams, the glowing scarab hovered above the desert again, but this time it spoke of future possibilities. Mira knew that the journey had just begun. The tomb held many secrets, and with Ket's guidance, she would uncover them all. The golden scarab pulsed softly in the dark. Mira smiled, feeling both excitement and wonder. She whispered, "I am ready." Mira woke to the soft glow of the scarab amulet. The chamber felt alive, humming with energy. Ket's voice echoed in her mind. "Today you will face your first true challenge. Knowledge alone is not enough. You must show courage and wisdom together." Rami stretched and yawned. "Looks like another day in the tomb," he said. But Mira could see the nervousness in his eyes. The team had already faced strange symbols and moving walls, but Ket's presence made everything feel different. It was as if the tomb itself was watching them. Mira led the way down a narrow passage. The walls were covered in shimmering symbols that shifted as they walked. Light danced along the carvings, forming patterns that Mira could not yet understand. "These passages are testing us," she said. "The tomb wants to see if we are ready." After a short walk, they reached a large chamber. In the center was a circular platform with 3 glowing insect shapes hovering above it. One looked like a scarab, another like a praying mantis, and the third like a beetle with wings spread wide. Each had a different color of light, gold, green, and blue. Ket spoke again. "Each insect represents a part of my essence: wisdom, strength, and unity. To proceed, you must solve the puzzle of the insects." Mira stepped forward. Symbols floated above the platform, showing shapes, numbers, and lines connecting the insects. She studied the patterns carefully. "It is not about moving the insects," she said. "It is about understanding their relationships." Rami nodded. "Yes, they are connected. If we arrange them correctly, the light will form a circle of balance." Mira moved her hands over the platform. The insects floated in the air, responding to her touch. She rotated the scarab, then the beetle, and finally the mantis. Slowly, the glowing lines connected, forming a perfect circle. The chamber filled with a warm light. The insects hovered together, then merged into a single golden beam that shot upward, opening a hidden door at the far end of the room. "Excellent," Ket said. "You understand the lesson of unity. Strength and wisdom are important, but without balance, they cannot succeed." The team entered the next chamber. It was smaller and darker. A series of narrow bridges crossed a deep pit. The walls were covered with mirrors that reflected their own movements. Mira noticed that the reflections sometimes moved differently, showing possible dangers ahead. "This must be a test of courage," she said. "We have to trust our steps and not be afraid of what we see." Carefully, Mira led the team across the first bridge. The mirrors showed shadows stretching toward them, but they did not move. Rami followed, stepping slowly, focusing on the bridge itself. Halfway across, Mira felt the floor shake slightly. The pit below seemed deeper than before. She held her breath, remembering Ket's words about courage. One step at a time, they crossed safely. At the far side, they found another puzzle. A wall covered with symbols formed a giant lock. The symbols glowed and shifted, showing combinations of stars, insects, and ancient numbers. Mira realized this puzzle required both knowledge and observation. "We need to think like the pharaohs," she said. "They left clues for those who are patient and careful." Rami examined the symbols and noticed a pattern. "The numbers match the positions of the stars above the desert," he said. "If we align the symbols with the constellations, the lock should open." Mira nodded and moved the symbols into place. Slowly, the wall separated, revealing a final chamber. It was smaller, but at its center was a pedestal with a small golden scarab, identical to the one she had first found, but glowing more brightly. Ket's voice echoed. "You have completed the first challenge. You have shown courage, wisdom, and unity. This is only the beginning. More lessons await you, and the tomb will continue to test your heart as well as your mind." Mira reached out and touched the glowing scarab. A wave of understanding filled her mind. She could feel Ket's essence inside the amulet, the insect shapes she had moved earlier, the bridges she had crossed, and the puzzles she had solved were all part of a greater plan. "This tomb is alive," Rami whispered. "It responds to those who are worthy." Mira nodded. "And it is teaching us, not just about the past, but about how to be better in the future." The chamber pulsed with light, and Mira felt a warmth spreading through her body. It was not just the glow of the scarab. It was the energy of Ket, the knowledge of the pharaohs, and the connection to something much larger than herself. That night, Mira placed the new scarab on her stand, next to the first. She felt a sense of accomplishment, but also responsibility. The tomb had accepted her. She had passed the first challenge, but she knew the next trials would be even harder. She closed her eyes and whispered, "I am ready for whatever comes next." Outside, the desert winds blew softly. Inside, the tomb waited, alive and patient. The golden scarabs glowed in the dark, and Ket's presence filled the chambers. Mira knew that her journey had only just begun. The pharaoh's secrets were unfolding, and she would follow the path to learn all that Ket had to teach. The next morning, the tomb felt warmer. The glow of the scarab amulets filled the chamber, casting golden light on the walls. Mira stood near the pedestal, holding the small scarab she had just unlocked. Rami adjusted his equipment, watching her carefully. "Ket, are you here?" Mira asked softly. The air hummed, and a gentle voice filled her mind. "I am always here, Mira," Ket replied. "You have proven your courage and wisdom. Now it is time to learn the deeper truths of the pharaohs. Humanity has forgotten the bond it once shared with beings like me. That bond must be remembered. Mira listened closely. She felt a mixture of curiosity and awe. What bond? She asked. Long ago, humans and intelligent insect-like beings worked together. We shared knowledge, protected each other, and lived in harmony with nature, Kid explained. The pharaohs kept this secret. They created tombs like this one to preserve wisdom, not treasure. The golden scarabs were symbols of our connection. Rami stepped closer. So humans and beings like you were friends? Yes, but over time humans forgot. They focused on power and wealth instead of cooperation and understanding. That is why I remained hidden, waiting for one who is worthy to awaken the knowledge again, Ket said. Mira felt a wave of wonder. She looked at the glowing scarabs and imagined the past, cities built with care, forests thriving, humans and insect-like beings working side by side. She could almost feel the harmony of those ancient times. Can we bring this knowledge back? Mira asked. Yes, but it is not simple, Ket replied. You must learn to balance wisdom with courage and knowledge with compassion. Only then can the lessons be shared safely with the world. Mira nodded. I understand. I will try. Ket's voice grew stronger and the scarabs began to glow even brighter. A holographic scene appeared in the air. Mira could see fields with plants growing taller and stronger than she had ever seen. Streams of water flowed freely, and humans worked together with glowing insect-like beings to create thriving communities. This is what humans and beings like me achieved together, Ket said. It was not magic, but cooperation, intelligence, and respect. These qualities can bring prosperity even today. Humanity can learn again. Mira felt inspired. Then we must find a way to teach people without greed or fear, she said. We need to show them that working together is stronger than fighting. Exactly, Ket said. But first you must understand how small actions can have great effects. Knowledge is powerful, but it must be used carefully. One wrong step can bring harm instead of benefit. The pharaohs built this tomb to test that understanding. Rami looked thoughtful. So the puzzles, the challenges, the tests, they were all teaching lessons, not just guarding treasure? Yes, Ket replied. Each challenge strengthened your mind, heart, and courage. You learned that fear cannot guide decisions. Cooperation is stronger than a lone effort. Knowledge without wisdom is dangerous. Mira studied the scarabs. They pulsed softly, almost like they were breathing. I think I understand, she said. The pharaohs wanted someone who could protect and share the knowledge, not take it for themselves. Correct, Ket said. And now, Mira, you are ready for deeper lessons. You will see how humanity can reconnect with the natural world. You will learn ways to help people grow, care for the environment, and live in harmony with life around them. The chamber began to shift. Hidden panels opened, showing books, tablets, and artifacts Mira had never seen. Some contained mathematical knowledge, some showed methods for growing plants, and others displayed ways to create energy without harming nature. This is amazing, Mira whispered. It is like the pharaohs left a guide for the future. Ket's voice grew softer, almost like a whisper in the wind. And now the knowledge is yours. Use it wisely. Help those who are willing to learn, and protect what must be protected. The tomb has chosen you, Mira, because you have courage, wisdom, and a heart that seeks understanding. Mira felt a warmth in her chest. She realized that the tomb was not just a place of history, but a place of living knowledge. Every scarab, every symbol, every glowing line was teaching her how to be a better guide, not only for herself, but for humanity. Thank you, Ket, she said softly. I promise I will do my best. Your journey has only begun, Ket replied. The tomb has more lessons, more knowledge, and more tests. But now you understand the purpose. The pharaoh's secret is not lost. It will grow again through those who are worthy. Mira looked at Rami. We have a responsibility, she said. This knowledge can help so many people if we use it carefully. We have to be careful, patient, and kind. Rami nodded. I am with you. Let's learn and protect what Ket has shared with us. The glowing scarabs pulsed softly in agreement. Mira felt a deep sense of peace. The tomb was alive, the pharaoh's wisdom was awakening, and Ket was guiding them step by step. Outside, the desert seemed quiet, but inside, the chamber shined with light and knowledge. Mira whispered to herself, We are ready to learn everything. The sun rose high over the desert, casting long shadows across the entrance of the tomb. Mira and Rami had spent the morning studying the knowledge Ket had revealed. Scrolls, tablets, and glowing scarabs filled the chamber, each holding secrets of the past. The tomb was alive with energy, and Mira felt more connected to Ket than ever before. Suddenly, a faint vibration shook the floor. Mira froze. "Did you feel that?" she asked. Rami nodded, eyes wide. "That's coming from outside," he said. Mira carefully approached a small opening that led to the desert. She saw dust rising far away as if someone or something was approaching. "They are here," she whispered. "Someone knows about the tomb." Ket's voice filled her mind. "Be careful, Mira. Not everyone comes with pure intentions. Some seek only wealth and power. The tomb can protect itself, but you must be wise in how you act." Mira nodded. She signaled Rami to gather the most important artifacts, including the golden scarabs. They moved quickly but quietly, hiding the treasures in a secure chamber deeper in the tomb. Outside, the sand shifted again. A convoy of vehicles appeared, moving toward the entrance. Mira recognized the emblem on one of the vehicles. A powerful corporation known for seeking rare artifacts had arrived. Their goal was clear: take everything, care nothing. "We have to stop them," Rami said, though his voice trembled. "They could ruin everything." Mira shook her head. "We cannot fight them with force, but we can protect the tomb and the knowledge inside." She held the glowing scarab close. "Ket, please help us." A soft hum filled the air. The walls of the tomb began to shift. Passages opened and closed on their own. Some doors disappeared, replaced by solid stone. The tomb itself seemed awake. Golden light glowed from the scarabs, forming shapes that looked like tiny insect guardians hovering in the air. As the corporate team approached the entrance, they saw the walls changing. The sand shifted unnaturally, forming small barriers. Their machines struggled, and the leader shouted orders in frustration. The tomb's defenses were alive, responding to those who were unworthy. Mira guided Rami through a hidden passage. "Follow me. Ket will help us stay safe," she said. The scarab in her hand glowed brighter with each step, lighting the way. Inside, Ket spoke in her mind. "They will try to take what is not theirs. The tomb is strong, but they are clever. You must lead them away from the knowledge." Mira nodded. She led Rami to a chamber with holographic symbols. With a wave of her hand, she activated a series of illusions. Walls appeared to move. Tunnels seemed to shift, and the path back to the entrance became confusing. The intruders could not tell which way was real. Outside, the corporation team grew frustrated. Machines broke in the shifting sand, and holographic illusions caused confusion. Their attempts to reach the scarabs failed. Mira and Rami moved deeper into the tomb. "We are safe for now," Rami said, breathing heavily. "But we need a plan. They will not give up easily." Mira studied the scarabs. "Ket has given us time. We must learn more before they return. We cannot let greed destroy this knowledge. The tomb is not just a place. It is a guardian. It chooses who may enter." Ket's voice echoed softly. "Those who come with greed will fail. Only those with wisdom and respect can survive. Use your courage and patience. Protect the bond that has waited for centuries." Hours passed, and the sun began to set. Mira and Rami rested in a safe chamber, the glowing scarabs lighting the space. Mira reflected on the danger outside. The corporation would not give up, but she realized that Ket's protection was stronger than any machine or weapon. "We have to be careful, Rami," she said. "This knowledge is too important to risk. Ket has trusted us. We cannot fail," Rami nodded. "We will protect it, Mira. And maybe when the time is right, we can share this knowledge with the world. Carefully, wisely, and for the good of everyone." Mira smiled. "Yes, we have to be patient. The tomb has waited centuries. We can wait too." That night, the tomb glowed softly, filled with the hum of Ket's energy. Outside, the desert winds blew, carrying the promise of challenges and discoveries to come. Mira and Rami knew that the next days would test their courage, wisdom, and unity even further. The golden scarabs pulsed in the dark. They were alive, vigilant, and ready to protect the secrets of the Pharaoh. Mira whispered, "We will not let them take what is meant to guide humanity." Ket's presence was calm but strong. Mira felt the warmth and wisdom flow through her. She knew that the hidden threat outside was only the beginning. The true test was learning how to use the knowledge for the good of humanity, and protecting it from those who sought only wealth and power. Mira closed her eyes, feeling the energy of the tomb around her. The golden scarabs shone brightly, promising guidance, protection, and the continuation of the Pharaoh's ancient wisdom. The desert sun rose slowly, painting the sands in golden light. Mira and Rami stood at the entrance of the tomb, the scarab amulets glowing softly in their hands. After the recent threat, they had decided it was time to carefully share Ket's knowledge with the world. Not everyone could know the secrets, but a few villages nearby could benefit. "Ket, are you ready?" Mira asked. The scarabs pulsed in response. A soft voice filled her mind. "Yes, Mira. Share the lessons with those who are willing to learn. Teach them respect, cooperation, and understanding. Guide them carefully." Mira and Rami traveled to the nearest village. The people were farmers struggling with dry soil and little water. Mira showed them how to use simple techniques Ket had taught her. The golden scarab amulet pulsed gently as she worked. Small green sprouts began to grow stronger and faster than anyone had expected. "This is amazing," a villager said. "We have never seen the crops grow like this before." Mira smiled. "It is not magic," she explained. "It is knowledge, patience, and care. We work with the land, and the land rewards us." Rami helped build small systems to capture rainwater and direct it to the fields. Ket's teaching showed them how to work with nature without harming it. Slowly, the village began to thrive. People shared ideas, worked together, and learned to respect the desert and its resources. Mira felt a warm glow in her heart. This was what Ket had meant. Knowledge was not for power or wealth. It was to help life grow, to guide people to work together, and to restore balance. As the days passed, more villages noticed the change. Mira and Rami traveled carefully, teaching only those who were willing to learn. The golden scarab pulsed gently with each lesson, guiding them and showing the right path. One afternoon, Mira noticed a small scarab symbol glowing on a rock near the village. She pointed it out to Rami. "Look, Ket's energy is spreading," she said. "It chooses where to appear, where it is needed." Rami nodded. "It is quiet, subtle, but powerful. People do not even know it is there, but it is helping them." In one village, Mira helped build small wind-powered machines to grind grain. In another, she taught how to create small water channels that would bring life to dry lands. Everywhere they went, people worked together, inspired by the lessons of cooperation, patience, and wisdom. Ket spoke to Mira one evening as they rested under the stars. "You see the change you're bringing. The bond between humans and the world can be restored. It grows slowly, but it is real. Those who learn will carry the knowledge forward." Mira looked at the glowing scarab. "It is amazing how small actions can make such a difference. The people are learning to care for the land and for each other." "Ket, thank you for trusting me." "You have proven your heart is true," Ket replied. "The tomb's wisdom is alive, and now it flows through you. Remember, knowledge is not a gift to keep, but a responsibility to share." As the weeks passed, villages began to flourish. Fields were green, rivers were cleaner, and communities worked together. People shared knowledge, teaching the children how to care for the earth. Mira realized that the tomb's secrets were no longer hidden. They were alive in the hearts of those who would use them wisely. Rami smiled as he watched children play among the fields. "It is incredible to see the difference we are making. We are helping people without taking anything for ourselves." Mira nodded. This is what Ket wanted. Wisdom shared for the good of life, not for power. The pharaohs would be proud. At night, Mira and Rami returned to the tomb. The scarabs glowed softly, their light pulsing in rhythm with the desert wind. Mira placed them carefully on the pedestal. "We have learned so much," she whispered. "And now we can help others learn too." Ket's voice filled the chamber. "The cycle continues. Those who are willing to learn will see the way. Patience, cooperation, and courage will guide humanity. You have begun the path, Mira, but there is still much to teach, much to protect, and much to grow." Mira smiled, feeling both joy and responsibility. The tomb was no longer just a place of secrets. It was a source of guidance and hope. She knew that the golden scarabs would continue to inspire people, slowly restoring the lost bond between humans and the wisdom of the pharaohs. The desert night was calm, filled with stars. The tomb glowed softly in the darkness, alive and vigilant. Mira whispered, "We will continue, Ket. We will share this gift wisely, and humanity will learn." The scarabs pulsed in agreement. Mira and Rami felt a deep sense of peace. The pharaoh's secret knowledge was no longer hidden. It had begun to grow, spreading slowly and carefully through the people who were ready to learn and protect it. Years had passed since Mira and Rami first entered the tomb. The desert around it remained quiet, but the villages they had helped were now thriving. Fields were green, Rivers flowed steadily, and communities worked together in harmony. The golden scarabs pulsed softly in the tomb, a quiet reminder that Ket's presence still watched over them. Mira stood at the entrance of the tomb, looking out over the desert. Her hair was streaked with silver, but her eyes were bright with the same curiosity and determination she had felt as a young archaeologist. She held the original scarab amulet carefully, its golden glow warm in her hands. "Ket," she whispered, "the people are learning. They are caring for the land and for each other. Your teachings are alive in their hearts." A soft hum filled her mind. "Yes, Mira, you have been patient and wise. The bond between humans and life is growing again. Your work has inspired many. The Pharaoh's wisdom lives once more." Rami approached, holding a bundle of notes and sketches. "Mira, look at this. Villagers have created new farming methods, small water systems, and even educational tools for children. They are learning faster than we imagined," Mira smiled. "That is the true gift, Rami. Knowledge is not ours to keep. It grows when shared carefully and wisely. Ket has guided us well." Together they walked through the tomb. The chambers glowed with golden light. Holographic symbols floated above the scarab pedestals, showing lessons Mira had learned and taught over the years. Each symbol pulsed with energy, a quiet reminder that the tomb was alive and aware of their work. In one chamber, Mira paused. A small golden scarab rested on a pedestal, glowing faintly. She remembered the day she first touched it, the day Ket had awakened within her. She smiled at the memory. "It all began here," she said softly. "And it continues because of patience, courage, and care." Rami looked at her with a smile. "We have protected the tomb, Mira, and now we have shared its wisdom." "The pharaohs would be proud," Mira nodded. "Yes, and Ket will continue to guide those who are worthy. This is only the beginning of a long story. The knowledge will grow and spread as humanity learns to respect life and work together." As they walked outside, the desert stretched endlessly before them. The sun was setting, painting the sands in brilliant orange and gold. Mira held the scarab amulet to her chest. She could feel Ket's presence in the warm wind and in the quiet pulse of the desert. Suddenly, a young explorer approached from the dunes. He held a small golden object in his hand. Mira recognized it immediately. It was a tiny scarab amulet glowing faintly. "This is amazing," the boy said. "I found it buried in the sand near the old village. It led me here." Mira knelt and smiled. "You have found one of Ket's gifts. It is meant for those who are curious, kind, and ready to learn." She handed him the amulet carefully. "Use it wisely. It will guide you to knowledge and teach you the importance of cooperation and care." The boy's eyes widened in wonder. "I will, I promise," Rami watched quietly. "The cycle continues," he said. "The tomb and Ket will always find those who are ready to learn." Mira looked out at the horizon. She realized that the pharaoh's wisdom had endured not because of treasure or power, but because it had been entrusted to those who were willing to protect it and share it wisely. The golden scarabs were not just symbols, they were guardians of knowledge, patience, and life itself. "Ket," Mira whispered, "thank you for trusting me." "You have been faithful and wise," Ket replied softly. "Now the knowledge lives in many hearts. The pharaoh's secret is no longer hidden. It is a living legacy, guiding humanity gently toward a brighter future." The desert night arrived, calm and full of stars. The tomb glowed softly and the scarabs pulsed in the dark. Mira and Rami stood together, knowing their work was not finished, but that it would continue in the hands of those who were ready to learn and protect the knowledge. Mira smiled and whispered to the boy who had found the new scarab, "One day you will help others just as we have helped you. The knowledge is alive and it grows with those who care." The boy nodded, holding the glowing scarab carefully. Mira felt hope and pride. Ket's energy pulsed warmly, reminding her that wisdom and courage, patience and care would always guide humanity. As Mira and Rami walked back toward the tomb, the desert wind carried the promise of new discoveries, new lessons, and new guardians of the pharaoh's wisdom. The golden scarabs shone quietly in the dark, a symbol of a legacy that would endure for centuries. Mira looked back at the tomb and whispered one last time, "The journey continues, and humanity will grow stronger because of what we have learned." The desert was silent, but the tomb was alive. The pharaoh's secret insect god had found a new way to guide humanity, and the golden scarabs would continue to watch, teach, and protect.